Yeah, so once again, as I just reported in a video I made 20 minutes ago, along with a recorded voicemail to the Greenville group, the water to this tap has once again become extremely thick, oily, slimy, and foul smelling. It smells like fish. I don't eat fish. I don't rinse anything off that smells like fish in here. These washcloths smell like bleach. They've been sitting in bleach overnight. There's no reason for anything in this corner to smell like fish. I don't eat fish. There's absolutely nothing that could possibly smell like fish, but it's coming out of the tap smelling like fish because Jasmine Irizarry, Greenville's paid psychopath, sex offender, and cyber criminal who claims to be a structural engineer and who has admitted in writing to contaminating the water to this tap, is contaminating the water to this tap. And Greenville is doing nothing about it. They're being criminally negligent in allowing a mentally disturbed, obsessive sex offender psychopath to access the water supply to my unit, as she has admitted to doing. I'm talking about Irizarry, the psycho scum, rejected asswipe, ghetto, filth, hate stalking piece of trash, being sponsored by the Greenville group. She's been engaging in nonstop harassment and surveillance-based aggression towards me for 10 years now. But she's obviously doing this, so I can't use this water. Greenville is sponsoring her, and they're encouraging her by refusing to do anything about the multiple notices I've sent, not just in writing, but verbally, and the fact that they know that this is what she's doing. So, time to go outside, stop wasting my time notifying Greenville. They know what's going on. They're refusing to do anything about it. And then they gaslight people who basically shine a light on their complete incompetence and the fact that they are negligent. And the city of Boston keeps taking them to court for negligence. That's a fact. That is not anyone's imagination, folks. Just look up the number of times the city of Boston has taken the Greenville group to court over the last few years for code violations in my unit. Not even throughout the building, just in my unit. So now I'm calling the Boston Water Sewer Commission. Maybe they'll do something about the contaminated, stinking, thick, oily, slimy, foul-smelling tap water. Oh, that doesn't sound good. What's going on over there? It sounds like a 1960s rotary phone. Wow. Yes. Is this the Boston Water and Sewer Commission?
Yes, this is the operator. What department can I transfer you?
I am trying to reach the Boston Water and Sewer Commission.
This is us. I am the operator. What department can I transfer you to?
I guess it would be testing, water testing.
Okay. Is there something wrong with your water?
There are concerns about the safety and usability of the water that is being brought into my building at this time. Thank you. Man, this connection is just the worst. Yes, hi. I'm calling because I'm a resident in a multi-unit residential building in Boston, and there are some serious concerns about the safety and usability of the tap water. Once it enters that property's plumbing system, who would I talk to about that?
I can start with this part. Let me just make sure I have all the information correct. So, are you, is this regarding a lead service line, or is it just general water concern?
No, this is actually bacterial and chemical contamination. I'm not concerned about lead. I am concerned that the property manager is permitting some type of deliberate breach of the intake water system to this building, meaning the water that is brought up from the water main out on the street, and that the water as it comes out of the taps is contaminated. It smells absolutely terrible, and it also causes skin burns and other atypical reactions that nobody should be having to tap water that is treated and monitored, as the Boston Water Supply is.
Understood. So let me take down your information and the address, and
Yes.
then I need to let's just check to see who the most appropriate party would be for that. What's the address?
Yes, the address is 5 Union Avenue. It's spelled U, N as in Nancy, I as in Irene, O as in oven, N as in Nancy Avenue. And that is in Jamaica Plain.
Understood. Can I get your name and the best phone number to reach you?
Yes, certainly. R is in Robert.
Uh-huh.
I am a resident in that building, and I've lived in that building for 13 years now. There were no problems with the water up until a few years ago when there was an extensive amount of plumbing work being done against the intake pipe to my kitchen sink from the bathroom behind it. So I did not see the plumbing work. It was being done from the premises on the other side of the wall of my unit, and that's when the water started really becoming sickening, foul smelling, and unusable for any kind of cooking or ingestion.
Understood. And so you said you've been living there for 13 years, and it started up probably about
20,
maybe like the last like 3 years or so.
yeah, in 2019. So I reported it to the property manager at the time, saying that there was strange plumbing work being done on a Sunday. He said they had no knowledge of that. They were not responsible for that plumbing work. It could have been the resident themselves doing the work, and apparently it was.
Okay. Understood. Okay. Important. Okay. And so I didn't get your phone number.
Oh, yes, certainly. Hold on. It is
2208.
Yes.
So Mary Beck, so I have it down right. It's
correct. Yes. Thank you.
Understood. No problem. So let me make a couple calls real quick, and I'm gonna just check to see who's available. A lot of the operations team is swapped out at 4 o'clock. So
Okay.
let me just see who's available on Friday at this time, and then I can and let me just see what options are available, and I'll do a little research on the property too. But so I got your information here, and let me see if I can get you a call back as soon as possible.
Certainly. Any assistance would be most appreciated. I've been, reporting this to the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority for several years now, and they say that once the water gets into the property manager's plumbing system, it is no longer their problem. It is the property's problem.
Understood. That's what I need to talk about, because that's where we're at. But let me talk to see if there's what options could be available for this.
Sure, that'd be great. Thank you. Any assistance is most appreciated.
Thank you very much. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Sounds great. Thank you. Yeah, what else can you do, right? I mean, the property manager is corrupt. They've admitted to using the services of a psychopath who also happens to be a cyber criminal and a structural engineer, obviously a career thug, named Jasmine Irizarry. And then there's a lot of banging and slamming directly behind my kitchen sink late at night, early in the morning when I try to use that tap. Then the water suddenly becomes thick, oily, slimy, foul smelling. You can't use it for anything. If you try to drink it, it immediately induces cramping and stabbing pains under the rib cage, which is evident of some type of chemical contamination. And when it smells foul, that's bacterial contamination. I have a master's degree in 2 separate scientific fields and conducted 18 years of laboratory research for Harvard Medical School, 14 years at Harvard Medical School, and another 4 or 5 years in the pharmaceutical and biotech industry. I've co-authored over a dozen scientific studies with my name on them in some of the highest end scientific journals in the world, including the Journal of Cancer Research, European Journal of Cancer, American Journal of Pathology, Laboratory Investigation, etc. And I know what I'm talking about when I say that the water to my kitchen tap is not water when it comes out thick, oily, slimy, and greasy. It is oil with water mixed in it. The chemical properties and the structural molecular bonds in that water are no longer water. It is something else. So that's a fact. Anyway. Yeah, so here's one of my co-authored scientific research studies. There's my name right there, deducting multicadal anthropogenic global. So I don't even remember which article this was that I did, 2001. Yeah. Oh, Sujit. That's the one I worked on with Sujit. Okay. Well, there's my name, folks. Scientifically authoring a high-end scientific research study at Harvard Medical School. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so the neurotransmitter dopamine, that's the article that I worked on. And authors. Well, there's my name again. See, there it is, right there. So these stupid, rejected, career asswipe, hate-stalking psycho thugs in this building who tell everybody that I am crazy and I'm a hooker, including Oleg Alisseyev, the property manager, they have no idea what they're talking about. I don't need to be a hooker, you fucking rejects. I was a master's level research scientist for 18 years, then went into clinical psychology and co-authored, not just co-authored, I single authored my own thesis, my own published thesis while I was a student in that PhD program. So people who lie, such as the rejected career hate stalking BLM asswipes that populate this building in large numbers, and the property manager, Oleg Lisayev, people who lie are allergic to the truth. And when you show the truth, they become really agitated and mentally disturbed because it is discrediting their lies, right? So it is a well-known fact that I worked as a research scientist at the master's level for 18 years. There are dozens of research studies out there. Okay, not dozens. There's probably 14 co-authored scientific studies out there with my name on them, and one with my name on it, which was my thesis, with my advisor's name on it as a adjunct, faculty member consulting on that. But see, there's my name right there. Eckelhofer. See, there we go. So these stupid jackasses who comment on my channel say that I lie about everything. Really? No, you're the liar, you fucking retard. And the Greenville group's lies about me are so pathetic that all it takes is one Google search to debunk their hate stalking, defamation, and lies about me, right? Let's look up my APA presentation in 2007. So still looking for my APA program publication from 2007. But look, my scientific contributions actually have their own separate page on ResearchGate. Let's see what all my publications are to debunk the hate stalking, mentally disturbed, asswipe lies of the BLM so-called activists in this building who've been telling everyone I'm crazy and I'm a hooker and I use drugs. I can't use drugs, you fucking retards. They make me absolutely sick. I can't even smoke marijuana. Can't drink alcohol. It makes me violently ill. So their stupid lies, easily debunked by medical facts. Yeah, there we go. Abstract C90. There's one of my articles right here. Targeted liposomal doxorubicin. Oh yeah, that's what I did when I was at Merrimack Pharmaceuticals. So what does it say here? Yeah. My contributions. And so the first article is one of the ones that I publications. So far there's 5 on this page. Abstract C90, HER2, that's a protein that's found on the cell surface of some breast cancer cells. Targeted liposomal doxorubicin, MM302, that's what I worked on for 1.5 years when I was in the pharmaceutical industry working for Merrimack. Yep. Yeah, I was like the second author on that study. So here's the actual article. The authors. Where am I? Well, there's me. Yeah. So, these rejected Greenville hate stalking liars, it's too bad that the facts are out there and that their lies don't hold water. And all it takes is one simple Google search to debunk all their crazy hate stalking, mentally disturbed fantasy lies about how I'm a hooker and I'm crazy and I use drugs. Nope, never have used drugs, folks. You can't use drugs and be a 2 career research scientist, meaning 2 separate fields of science, clinical psychology and hard science, molecular biology, and work 3 jobs at the same time. There's just no time for drug use. I can't use drugs anyway. They make me ill, like literally ill. The hardest drug I've ever tried to use was marijuana, and it makes me sick for days. I cannot ingest it. I can't smoke it, can't be anywhere around it. That's why I get really sick when the psycho scum and all the adjacent units of mine start smoking marijuana because it affects my health, right? So there's my name, co-authoring this one article. And there's multiple other articles in which I've co-authored studies in scientific journals. Just have to look them up, that's all. Okay, here we go. Developmental psychologist, APA. Isabel A. Eckelhofer, MA, Exploration of Coping Style, Gender, and Gender Role on Adaptation to College in First-Year Undergraduates. That was my thesis for my PhD program. So, you know, two separate fields of science. I have co-authored research studies in two separate fields of science, clinical developmental psychology at the PhD level and tumor biology and angiogenesis, master's level. That is the hard science portion of my career. This is a psychological portion of my career. So I find it ironic that the rejected, hate-stalking, mentally disturbed, low IQ BLM activists in this building keep claiming that I am crazy when they probably didn't even finish 8th grade. And I'm the only person around here who is verifiably and officially qualified to diagnose mental health issues. Nobody else is. Oleg Lisseyev, as far as I know, only has a bachelor's degree. He studied economics, according to what he told me. He's not a psychologist. Neither are the receptionists in the office. Davis and Felicita do not have graduate degrees in clinical psychology. I'm almost positive. Nor does anybody else who works for the Greenville Group. They're not clinical psychologists. But see, I am. This is my PhD thesis right here. And there's my name. And I had to spend 6 years full-time in a PhD program for clinical psychology to have this publication right here, as you see. And as officially sanctioned and verified by the American Psychological Association. See, that's the APA right there. So these rejected idiots who make up all kinds of crazy stories about me, well, it's so easy to just debunk their pathetic lies. And here we go right here. Also, the fact that they think I was a hooker, really? Took 3 years full-time for me to generate and complete this master's level research study for a PhD program. Nobody has time to stand on a street corner waving down horny guys in cars, okay? Nobody in their right mind would do that, especially if they have this option going on in their life. I very aggressively pursued a PhD in clinical psychology while concurrently working as a master's level research scientist at Harvard Medical School because I could. Not because I didn't have any other options, but because I could. So when these asswipes say that I'm a hooker, that's just their own desperate, mentally disturbed, wishful thinking talking right there, and not the facts. These are the facts right here, folks. You're looking at a fact, okay? A lie is not a fact, and this is not a lie. This is a fact. So for the idiots who watch my channel and don't know the difference between a fact and a fantasy, this is a fact. You fucking retards. So go chew on it and then go jump off a cliff.